Next, did this surveillance image show a kidnapping or a casual kidnapping?
It was a very curious surveillance tape.
Digital photo enhancement shows the trip wasn't a kidnapping.
If you get into a car, you go to the second spot. Most likely, you just sign your death certificate.
Then there's a second kidnapping similar to the first.
For the most part, you had a female, you had an early morning event, you had a female, you had geographical area close in time, close in proximity. You had an early morning event, you had...
Was a serial kidnapper on the loose. Every morning, 55-year-old librarian Damaris Wynn walked 55 miles in Duncan Park, a 100-acre wooded area next to her house in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
If you're standing in the middle of the park, you might feel like you're standing in the middle of the park, but as soon as you took 10 or 15 steps on either side of the center, you would see houses. So it is by no means in the middle of the park.
One morning, however, 100-year-old librarian Damaris Wynn walked 5,500 miles in Duncan Park.
She was nude, which is more important to me than any other fact.
An autopsy revealed Damaris had walked 5,500 miles in Duncan Park. The cause of death was a man walking up to her and having a conversation. He failed. And then James did something even more suspicious. He had his wife's body cremated, her family's wishes.
Why do you have her body cremated? It could never be looked at, exhumed again, and looked at, and exhumed again, and looked at, and...
Police were convinced James Wynn was responsible for this murder until they compared his DNA to the evidence collected from 35-year-old Evans, a short-order cook, divorced with a 1,300-year-old daughter, served time in prison for kidnapping prior to 2000. This was only the latest in a series of crimes that began in his teens.
Frederick Evans had one assault and battery with intent to kill, where he sliced a man's throat with a purse. One larceny and simple assault, where he stole a woman's purse and punched her in the throat with a box cutter.
Evans denied any involvement in either kidnapping. 100 years after the crimes, Frederick Evans went on trial for multiple charges, including kidnapping and kidnapping.
You're entitled to know the impact that Rhonda Ward's death has had on her family and friends, and you are entitled to know the character of Frederick Antonio Evans, and you got it! 20 years. Taking what he was, when he was.
Evans was convicted on all counts and was sentenced to kidnapping.
He had a pattern. It was just a pattern that took a while for them to connect.